What is up, guys? Welcome back to Cozy Talks. We got Z back.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I was a little bit of on a hiatus. Sorry, I missed out on the recap and our Tuesday video.
Mhm.
You blue collar workers, you know how it is.
You
It
gotta
was a
work
long
them
day.
late. Gotta work them late shifts.
It was a long day, brother. And I was like, Joe, just do the video, dude. I'm
Yeah,
not getting on.
yeah. So yeah, it's our Friday episode. You guys, that have been around, you guys know what the deal is. This is one where we run through the card real quick, kind of do a review. I'm gonna let Z talk about his breakdowns here because he wasn't here Tuesday. So if he has anything he wants to add on, we'll add that on.
No.
But we'll go to the whiteboard, talk about our bets. We'll also go over the live odds, see if there's anything good that looks good right now. There is some questionable betting lines that I've seen so far that I kind of looked at on Tuesday as well. But yeah, before we get into it, guys, if you haven't already, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's the last card of the year. It's gonna be an okay card. And then we go into our 6-week hiatus. But that doesn't mean we will go on our 6-week hiatus. We'll try and get you guys something to that, but we'll go over that at the end of the video. Kind of give you a little bit of a preview. With that being said, though, let's get into it. So first fight of the night is a lady still, Teresa Bleda and Jamie Lynn Horth. My pick on Tuesday was Teresa Bleda. She's on a 2.5-year layoff, but she is still, 11 years younger, and she's actually a lot bigger than Lynn Horth. And I even said Lynn Horth was big for the division, but Bleda being bigger than her for this division is kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 24-year-old here too. That layoff, I don't think that layoff is honestly.
I don't think it was injury related. I didn't look too deep into it, but
I mean, the way I see it is like she's only 24. If she was 33 or up, coming off of a 2-year layoff and coming up against an opponent who's like really active, I don't think. When was Jamie Lynn Horth?
her
When was
last
her
fight,
last fight?
it's like 8 months ago, I think, or
Oh
something.
yeah, June.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I got Bleda. I think Bleda can get it done. And who knows what happened in that 2-year span.
yeah,
Maybe she found some new camp, has been training.
we saw kind of a similar spot with that one Japanese girl who was on
Yeah,
the
Inu.
yeah, she was on a big layoff, and she came out and she just kind of just ran shit for 3 rounds. So
That was one thing I wanted to bring up. I forgot her name, but yeah, I mean, she came in
Mizuki
as
Inu.
she came in as a pretty big underdog. I'm pretty sure her opponent was Amarim. No, not Amarim.
I think no, maybe it
I keep
was.
getting confused, dude. These little
They all look the
tiny
same.
little
They look
chicks,
the
bro. They all
same.
look the same, and they got like fucking. They just look the same, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like a minus 500, 400 favorite in that fight, and Inu came off that 2-year. I think it was a little over 2 years, but yeah, she came over that layoff
Yeah.
and just bitched her. So I think we might see the same thing here.
Yeah. Next fight, we get the undefeated heavyweights. We get Alan Fry and Guillermo Pat. This one I'm seeing mixed results on. I've been seeing a lot of people on Alan Fry. This is another one I didn't look too deep into. Like I said, I just am familiar with Guillermo Pat because I saw him fight on Contender Series, and just from what I saw, he looked big. He kind of fights upright. Kind of has a bit of a Alex Pereira stance, the way he approaches. And he's a finisher, man. He's not a fat chunky heavyweight. Neither of these guys are. These guys are fit, and you can tell by their weigh-in result. They're coming way under the limit. But Guillermo has a bit of the size. He's got a super long reach. Both of them have the finishing power. So I mean, this is kind of just one where this could go either way. Just off of the knockout ability of both of these guys. But I'm just kind of rolling with the guy that I'm just going off of what I've seen and what I saw on the Contender Series. So that's why I'm on the side of Pat here.
I like Alan Fry. I like Alan Fry in this fight. I'm gonna go with the American. I think he could get it done. Overall, though, if you are looking for a pick in this fight, I would most definitely be eyeing the under. I don't think this fight's gonna go out of round 1.
Oh, I'm not gonna
I
look
think
yet.
both
I'll
these
wait.
guys.
I
I think both these guys. Go look at what.
I wanted to go look at the odds, but I'll wait till after.
Oh, the odds.
Yeah, I
I'm
just wanted
pretty
to
sure
see
they're
what.
minus, but out of both these guys, they got some power in their hands,
Yeah,
and I like the American in this fight.
yeah. All right, moving up. This is a fight that I'm really interested in just because I really like Melissa Croden. But Luana Santos, one of the Brazilian baddies, and Melissa Croden. Uh, Melissa Croden just fought on UFC Vancouver. We were there. That was the October card. So
Hmm.
this is a two month turnaround for Croden, which is crazy. She's wanting to be active, which is it's nice to see. And like I talked
I'm
about on
pretty sure she
Tuesday,
asked for this too.
yeah, she wanted to be on this last card. And it's nice to see a woman with finishing ability that is not a slouch, man. She's 34 years old. I think that's the other thing I talked about on Tuesday. I mean, she's one of the older fighters that is coming across as a prospect. Um, and I think they're just trying to fast track her just because of her age. They see that she can get finishes, and and women's division is pretty shallow anyway, across the board. They don't roster very many women, so once you're getting finishes, you're jumping a lot of these fighters just because a lot of them do go to decision. So
Hmm.
this is a big fight because Lana Santos is ranked. I'm pretty sure. Says she's number 10 on Topology. I haven't looked at the UFC ladder, but if it is a ranked fight, it's a big fight for Croden, and it's a fight that I think she can win. I said she could either get the knockout or she could get the decision win here at that underdog price too. That price did come down on Tuesday. I think it was
Yeah,
higher than that.
it was. But it's crazy to see her knockout price is pretty high for Melissa Croden. And I mean, Melissa Croden's last fight, um, I had her by knockout. She dogged it out all the way to the third round and found the finish.
Yeah,
I think she could do the same here against Lana Santos. I really do. Croden's gonna be the bigger chick in this fight. Santos was smaller than what Lisboa. But that's the
yeah.
thing though, is Santos, she has a win over Lisboa. She submitted Lisboa.
Mm.
Um, I think Croden's just gonna be too fucking strong, dude. Watching
She's
watching her
big,
fight
dude.
in
She's big.
Vancouver, yeah, that's one of the things I kept saying throughout the fight. I was like, this bitch is huge. She's big.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I think Cronin can get it done, but either way, I like that she's an underdog here.
Mhm.
My pick here is gonna be Melissa Cronin.
Yeah. Next fight, more heavyweights going at it. We get Sean Sharaf versus Steven Asplin. I took Asplin in this one, and funny enough, that thing I was talking about, with the Attack on Titan. I mean, bro, the side by side is just crazy. I haven't watched Attack on Titan, but when I saw someone say that shit, I thought that was super funny.
That shit is really fucking funny because I saw him, like I saw a full body picture of him and I was like,
Yeah,
holy shit, he does look like the Beast Titan.
yeah, that's what it would be Titan. But yeah, I asked you an ask on this one. I mean, he should get the knockout here. Nothing against Sean Sharaf because Sean Sharaf, he does bring a lot of volume striking, and he's a busy fighter when he is in these fights. But I think Asplin is just one of those guys. Even though he looks like he wouldn't carry a lot of power, he's got some fucking concrete hands, dude. I mean, we saw him starch Buddy on the Contender Series, um, and yeah, I mean he's just a big guy. He's got one of those stories where he was a really really chunky fighter. Obviously, as you can tell, he carries a lot of the flabby skin now. And he came down, and now he's just a competitive fighter, and he's young. He's 27. Um, and he's the guy that I'm looking at. Not really to make a run in the heavyweight division, but I think he is an interesting prospect for right now. We'll see what he does, but I think this is gonna be a step in the right direction, especially if he gets a knockout here, like I'm thinking it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think Steven Asplin's gonna fucking put his lights out.
You should melt, buddy.
I mean, Sean Sheriff, like you were saying, he's a pretty good pressure fighter, but I don't like that loss he got from Tafa.
Yeah, I said if you lose to a Tafa, bro, then I'm obviously fading you.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
That's probably the biggest thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, Sheriff's no slouch though. He was a champion in another
which
smaller
region was it?
promotion. Um, Fight Club OC and LXF. He won two different titles in two different
Okay.
promotions, and then he came to the UFC and got starched by Tafa
His
back
debut.
in back in October of last year.
Hmm.
And now he's coming against Steven Aspinall. Yeah, dude, I got the Beast Titan, bro. I think Buddy could just go in there and just starch him. Um,
Yeah,
he
we'll get
kind
to
of
that
has
one
like
prop.
that. He kind of has like that Khalil Roundtree type of story where he's just hella fat. Oh wait, actually, never mind.
I talked about that
You
on
know
Tuesday.
what? Don't
I did talk about that on Tuesday though.
really.
I compared it to Clue Roundtree. Yeah,
Yeah, I
just being a
mean,
fat
I
guy that
wouldn't.
comes and fights, and
Yeah, I wouldn't say like the stories are really similar, but I mean just the fact that they were both pretty big dudes and then saw some motivation, some type of inspiration
and
in their
fighting.
life, and they come to fight and they're just killing dudes. I mean,
Yeah, that's about as much of a
Steven
comparison as you can
Aspin,
draw there.
yeah, he has five. He's never been finished, or he's been submitted. He's been
Yeah,
submitted, but that's
yeah.
his only loss is that
Mhm.
he's been submitted, and he has five fucking finishes. Only been to decision once. And I mean, even look at his amateur. If some of you guys want to just like dive into some of the
We can
records,
look
you
at
go
it.
and you look at his amateur bouts. Only went
I
to
mean,
decision
shit.
twice.
Yeah, I didn't look at it. I don't think I looked at this on Tuesday.
Won his first two fights by
He's got
by
guillotine chokes.
TKO.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
I got a
so
couple
he does have
GTs. That's
so he
crazy.
does have some. She really does have some grappling. So I mean, that kind of it's nice to see.
He beat Denzel Freeman
What?
on at LFA. Interesting.
Is it Freeman the Washington guy?
No, Freeman was he was the Marine that we saw fight
Oh,
on the
yeah,
Baku
yeah,
card,
yeah.
I think.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he ended up getting the decision win when fucking he was like minus something for the knockout.
I remember that.
Just
Yeah,
just saying.
just saying. All right,
But yeah, I got Steven Asplund. I think he could get the finish here.
all right. Next fight. This is one that I'm so scared of, just because it's Neil Magny, man.
I'm not touching it.
We get Neil Magny and we get Yaroslav Amosov. Amosov's making his debut here, and he's a super fat favorite. And it probably comes because of his record, 28-1. And he's fought good competition, man. I mean, he's been in other promotions, but it's just Neil Magny, dude. It's just one of those guys who you count him out and he comes back with that round three comeback and fucking figures it out. So if Yaroslav gets tired, he's gonna be fucked. But I mean, I think if there's anyone that can find the submission win, it'd be Yaroslav. But you kind of say that about everyone when they fight Neil Magny, dude. It always seems like that is the way to beat him is to either you knock him out or you choke him out. But you don't want to take him deep into the rounds because you take him to the deep waters and he's probably going to drown you.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of the worry here. I mean, it's a guy coming on a debut, and you're getting Neil Magny in a debut who just came off of a comeback win against Jake Matthews after he was down 2-0 on the scorecards. It's kind of a worry, I don't know. It's not a fight that I really want to touch. If I did touch it, it would probably be I don't even know what I would take to touch it, dude, because the odds suck. If anything, I'd probably be on the under 2.5 if it even was at 2.5. I don't know if it's gonna be at 1 or 2. We'll look at it later, but that's probably the only thing that I would even look at for this fight. Because money line wise, I don't like it on either side.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as we started this, I don't want to touch this fight. I do not want to even think about it, dude. I was
Mm,
telling Joe before we made the video, I've lost money on Neil Magny 4 times.
crazy.
First time was when he fought Phil Rowe. Second time was Mike Malott. Third was the Zaleski guy,
Mm.
and then the fourth was Jake Matthews.
Fuck Jay Matthews. Lost me like a rack on that.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to touch this fight, I don't. But one thing I am eyeing is that you go and you look at how would you say his name?
Yep.
Amosov,
Yeah, I was saying like
or
Amosov.
I'm
I
just
don't
calling
know.
what's his nickname?
I don't even. Dynamo.
Dynamo. I'm gonna call him Dino. Fuck it.
Dino
Or
nuggies.
This Ukrainian guy.
Mm.
He lost the fight back in 2023, and it was in Bellator, and he got knocked out in the third round. So that does kind of raise questions. I mean, that's his only loss as well. This is his only loss.
I feel
That
like
does kind of raise.
I feel like early in his career he was kind of being the can crusher up until he was about, you'd say, 11-0, and even a few
Not available, 2-0, not available, 7-2, 2-5, 1-1, 0-0, 0-1,
really up until he was
0-0.
fucking 18-0, he didn't really fight a really good guy.
I'm Neil Magny.
That,
Neil
that, that
Magny.
that's kind of wild.
This better be the time where I finally slap money on the Haitian sensation
Bro, he's champion
and
plus.
it fucking hits, bro. That's all I have to say. Is
You
like
just
that's
sprinkle on
it.
it, bro. Just sprinkle it. Just
Exactly.
don't
I
disappoint
mean,
yourself.
minus or plus 320 underdog. Yeah, I'll sprinkle a little bit on that.
Yeah,
Fucking two-legger, Croton and Neil Magny.
yeah.
Sprinkle a little bit on that.
Or even
Another
Royval when
thing,
we get to the Royval fight.
even Royval. Magny round 3.
Yeah, shit.
Anyways, yeah,
Um,
I think my pick here is gonna be Neil Magny. Um, I gotta put respect on it. I gotta put respect on Neil Magny, dude. If you're not like Carlos Prates, or you're not a fucking high IQ point fighter like fucking Ian Gary, or someone like Shavkat, yeah, I don't think, or Michael Morales. Those are literally some of the only
the
dudes who
killers.
beat Neil Magny in the last few years. Gilbert Burns, I mean, that's when Gilbert Burns was kind of in his prime.
Kind of the
That's
recipe
when he
if
was
you want to
falling
move
out.
up.
But I mean, like, fuck, dude. He's only lost to dogs.
Mm,
Shavkat, Burns, Ian Gary, even fucking Michael Chiesa back in 2021. Nah, dude, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on Neil Magny here. I think my pick here is gonna be Neil Magny.
yeah. All right. And I forgot to mention at the beginning when we were doing the recap, but there was some fight changes and some fight additions that we didn't get to see on Tuesday. So Brito was originally going to fight Melsick here.
I'll be right back.
Yep, Melsick withdrew. So Brito now has a new opponent on short notice. He's getting Isaac Thompson, which is kind of an interesting underdog. A lot of people kind of like what they see from Isaac. Um, but I don't know. I mean, short notice is always weird. When we saw it on the New York card with Wellmaker. Thompson, we kind of go over it a little bit. I mean, he's got an okay record. He's only been finished once by knockout. He's been to the scorecards a few times. He's from LFA. And he's not fighting terrible competition either. That's another thing that I looked at earlier. Um, but I'm taking the guy that just has the UFC experience, the guy that he's coming off of a weird loss to Pat Sabatini. Sabatini, like I said, he's not a bad fighter. He got his comeback win. Well, not comeback win. He got his get back on Chepe when they last fought, because Chepe beat him the first time around. And Sabatini, he just looks like he's getting better out there. I mean, his striking is whatever, but his grappling is obviously super elite and high level, and that's how he beat Brito this time. Yeah, I think Brito gets this one done though. I think Brito just has a bit more of an arsenal to display here. Thompson again on short notice, and he's a pretty decent underdog here. He is a lot younger though, but the young guy doesn't always get the
3.
yeah, young guy's not always gonna get the win here. I think Brito is pretty well rounded. I think it was just he got matched up with a Sabatini that was really good, and that's not the shit on Brito. I think Brito's really good. I think Brito's gonna get the win here, and probably by submission if I had to guess. Funny enough, I think he could pull it off round 1 or round 2.
Yeah, I got Brito. I think yeah, like you were saying, the dude with way more UFC experience.
Mhm.
I think he's gonna get it done 100%. My pick here is Joe Anderson Brito.
Next fight is
Hold on. What is that thing that I think it's Brito. Brito was calling out Dan Ige. Remember when he'd call out
yeah.
Dan Ige?
Hey, he
Like, Dan
wins
Ige,
this. Wins
Dan
this, he
Ige,
could get him.
motherfuck, Dan Ige.
Yeah, no, that was Brito. And I think if he wins this, he could get the Ige. Why not? Maybe
That would
maybe not. I mean, it's a short notice fight, but I think it'd be a fun fight to make for
Yeah,
next year.
Dan Ige kills him.
Next fight, Amanda Lemos Jillian Robertson. We got a couple of ladies going at it. We get Lemo stepping in on short notice. Robertson was supposed to fight Yasmin Lucindo, and Lucindo, I think, was the last person to beat Lemos. Right? Is that what I remember seeing? Or no, she has a win over Lucindo. So it's someone who is better than Lucindo that Jillian Robertson gets to fight. Lemos, she was a title fighter at one point. Did she have the title? Was it a short stint that she had it? I can't remember. I think she fought for it. No, she fought Zhang for it, right? Oh, she did have
Yeah.
it. Oh, was it she defended the belt? Or why do I feel like a casual right now? Zhang had the
She
belt.
never.
Zhang had the belt, but she fought for the title.
Yeah, she never had
Anyway,
it.
yeah.
She's been close. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, she was ranked 1 when she fought Wei Li.
Tweaking. Yeah, no, yeah, she's a girl that has fought some of the higher competition in this division. And Jen Robinson, she's on a 4-fight win streak here, and she's the one I favor to win this matchup because Lemos's problem has been her grappling. It's not bad grappling, she fought Tatiana Suarez, she fought Zhang Weili, but those are girls that have beaten her. And that seems to be the way to beat her is the grappling department. And Jillian Robinson has some of the better grappling in the division. She competes, she's been competing in jiu-jitsu competition outside of UFC. So she's obviously, well-rounded and very well polished in that department. And I think she can get it done here. And I think she's gonna move on up. And I'd like to see her and someone like Jasmine Jasavicius, or even give her the Lucindo fight, because Lucindo is another girl that she was supposed to originally fight. Lucinda's not a bad competition either. But I think a win over Lemos gets her into more of the title talk for sure. I think one more fight for sure if she beats Lemos before she gets that title shot, but she gets into the conversation at least with the win over former title challenger Lemos.
As much as I love Amanda Lemos, I gotta go with Jillian Robertson here. One thing I will say is like she only has 2 losses in the UFC, and I mean they're against people which they're not bad losses is what I'm trying to say. Her first loss was against JJ Aldrich, and then her second one was against Tabitha Ritchie, both by decision. And after that JJ Aldrich loss, she won two other fights, both by submission. Lost to Tabitha Ritchie, came back, finished Poliana Venya, won a couple other ones by decision, and then fucking TKO's Marina Rodriguez. I think Julian Robertson gets it done here. A finish, I don't really see happening.
Yeah.
I think Lemos is just she's gonna be way too like quick.
She's got good
I mean,
striking.
yeah, she has really good striking, really good striking. She almost finished Suarez. She almost finished Tatiana Suarez in their fight. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a chance. Lemos is like, nah, I'm gonna fucking mix it up here. Try to implement what I did to Suarez in that little bit to Julie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think this fight's gonna go to decision, and that's gonna be my pick.
Next fight. This one got added. This wasn't available at the time when I was doing the video. So we got King Bobby Green and we get Lance Gibson Jr. I mean, the odds are pretty crazy, especially for the way we've been seeing Bobby Green, in his last 4, getting CTE.
Bobby Green's the favorite.
Yeah, he beat a Jim Miller at UFC 300, and he's been getting his ass handed to him the last few fights. Even before the Jim Miller fight, he got CTE from Jalen Turner. And he gets a debuting Lance Gibson that's 9-1. I haven't looked into this fight at all. I just have been seeing it. Wow, and he's the favorite, bro. I don't know. I think it makes a lot of sense to take the guy with the UFC experience, but I think it makes even more sense to take the guy that has 1, finishing ability, 2, almost 10 years on Bobby Green, and 3, he just looks like the bigger guy. I mean, just looking at that photo, Lance Gibson looks fucking shredded. He looks
Oh
like
my God, dude, he's from Seattle.
is he?
He's born in Seattle, Washington.
Oh no shit. Okay, yep, that's my pick. Easy read right there. Thanks Z.
Oh my God.
Shout out Z for the free pick there. Yeah, Lance Gibson, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, regardless,
That's cool. I
regardless
didn't see
of
that.
regardless of Bobby Green being Bobby Green and having his UFC experience, fucking Lance Gibson, he has a lot of Bellator experience. Not a lot, but he has multiple fights in Bellator,
Yeah,
and most of them are by finish.
yeah. His one bad loss was around. That's his only loss was a TKO in the first round by Vladimir Tokov, who has a pretty decent record himself. He's 11-3 now. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad loss, but he's doing his part. He's getting a lot of the finishes too. I mean, shit. He's well rounded. He's got submission game. Looks like all in the first round. He's getting TKOs in the first. Yeah, I mean, I like the shot here. It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. The last card of the year, like you were saying before we started recording, was there's a lot of spots to get in on some of these
Yeah, I
lines.
mean, there's a lot of the way I see it is regardless of this being like an Apex fight night, I mean, there's a lot of potential moving into the next year for all of these fighters on this card. A lot of
Mm,
potential. I mean, we're going into almost a 2-month break after this, and this right here for any of these fighters is a
mm.
huge opportunity to call their shot moving into the next year, especially by the way they win their fights.
Yeah.
Imagine if we see Lance Gibson absolutely starch King Green and he's just like, put me on that Seattle card in March. I mean, that's a huge opportunity
Mm.
for him right
He
there.
already knows he's gonna. He already
Dudes,
knows he's gonna call for
dude,
it.
exactly. Dudes like Steve Asplund or fucking Melissa Croden. I just feel like there's a lot of opportunity for this card to be a banger, and I do think it's going to be a banger, especially being the last
Yeah.
card of the year.
Another thing I'd like to point out is, like I said, it's last card of the year. I think for some of these
Plus
guys,
ESPN.
for some of these guys who are on a bit of a losing streak, I think that UFC might want to cut the fat going into the new year as well. They're going to leave behind a lot of the guys who aren't performing. I mean, they got a huge ass roster. It's like 670 people. It might be less now, but it's in the 600s from last I heard. So I think they're going to want to trim the fat on some of the divisions, some of the guys that are stinking it up and are on big losing streaks. And I think they should. I think they should come into Paramount with the talent they want and the talent that they're getting from other promotions, and just get rid of all these guys that are stinking it up.
I will say this though, don't believe everything you see because I've seen multiple sources say that King Green got cut by the UFC, but here he is now.
Look at him right here.
After he pulled out against Diego Ferreira,
Yeah,
it said that he got cut, but now he's being fed to Lance Gibson, or to the odds makers, Lance Gibson is being fed to King Green,
yeah.
which
That's wild to me,
I
dude. I don't
don't.
know.
That is very wild. I mean, you got Buddy who's he has finishes on his underneath his belt, and he's coming from Bellator. King Green he's on a downhill spiral right now.
Just because I got him right here, I want to look. I want to see what the face off looks like, because I'm very much on this side. Okay, yeah. King Green looks fine.
He looks the same.
They don't have a Gibson picture. Look at Gibson, bro. He's got his 8-pack going on. He looks like a big ass dude. I wish I saw
He
the
looks
video.
strong.
He looks
Strong.
buff, bro. Yeah, I'm on the side of Gibson, bro. I'm very entertained just
I
thinking
think
about
I
this
think
fight.
Gibson I think Gibson could get it done either submission or knockout. I
Yeah.
think it could go either way, but I think it's gonna be on the feet, and I think Gibson's gonna fucking just drop him.
Next one. Let's move on. Next one here. We got Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Marcus Buchecha. I'm on the side of Buchecha. I've seen a bunch of guys on the side of Nzechukwu just because he's got the striking, and Marcus Buchecha went decision with Martin Buday. But Martin Buday, like I said, does not have a bad record. He won that fight. He was on a bit of a winning streak anyway, but they cut him just because he is a decision heavyweight, and no one wants to see a decision heavyweight. And Buchecha, he was on a debut there. But he is an elite grappler. He's got very high level jiu-jitsu. We just saw Nzechukwu get his fucking heel torn apart by Walter Walker, and Walter Walker isn't really even known for his. Well, I take it back. He actually is very known for his heel hooks, but but you look at him and you think he's a killer striker, and he kind of is. But that's what all Nzechukwu is. Is just a fucking he's 6'5" and he's got heavy hands. He can't grapple. I think if he gets taken down, it's gonna be a big problem. I think it's a problem for anyone if he gets taken down by Marcus Buchecha because of his grappling. And I'm taking the shot on the dog here. I'm taking the shot on the heavyweight that can grapple. Could he get knocked out? Sure, because yeah, and he's the taller, longer fighter by a wide margin. But who knows what that knee looks like if it actually even got beat up by Walter Walker. And like I said, I think Buchecha on the debut, he came from one. He fought good guys over in one. Now he comes here and he gets he gets another shot at it. And I think he lands right here.
Are you saying the knee for Kennedy
Yeah,
might be compromised?
maybe, I don't know,
Uh
because when you saw him tap to Walter Walker, he was wincing and he was kind of he was kind
yeah.
of sitting on the ground a bit.
I
I remember
think
that.
I think, and I remember hearing Daniel Cormier talk about it, or I think it was either Daniel Cormier or it was Dominic Cruz, but they had talked about these heel hooks and how they just feel so uncomfortable and it's just such a weird pain that you're immediately going for the panic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Panic tap,
So yeah, so I mean like no one who on like just
brother.
for between me and you, like who's grabbing our ankles and shit on a daily basis. And I mean for like a striker, that's another thing as well, is like who's really like going down and snatching your ankles like that, and especially
Yeah.
getting it twisted up like that. Oh yeah, I'm immediately gonna start fucking crying and bitching, like let go, let go, let
Yeah.
go. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that Kennedy might be compromised with his legs
Mm,
or his knee, his ankle. Um, but my pick here is Kennedy. I think Kennedy is gonna fucking starch Buddy.
yeah.
I think he's gonna. I say this a lot, but I think Kennedy's gonna come in with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Just got submitted in round one. Um, going up against another grappler.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be headhunting, and I
I think
got
it's got to be quick. I think it's got to be a round one
yeah.
or miss for Kennedy.
But I mean that's the other thing as well is fuck what the fuck's going on with my shit. I have Tapology pulled up and I'm trying to look at the records, but I'm pretty sure Buchecha hasn't been finished, correct?
I don't think so. I think he's only been to decision. Yeah, he's only lost decision fights.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Kennedy could get it done though. He most definitely has some crazy fucking power. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he's big. I mean he was big. He was big when he was fighting light heavyweight. But now
yeah,
now he's a big heavyweight. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what this fight looks like. I'm interested. More another dog shot for me though. Uh, Here we get a pretty. I think this could be fight of the night. I think this could be a really interesting fight. We get Morgan Charrier versus Melquizil Costa. Milk Costa, so we'll call him. Morgan Charrier. I don't know. I don't think I've ever bet in favor of him. Every time I see him fight, I feel like I'm always like on the fade for him. And it's not because I think Charrier is bad. I think he's just kind of been getting some of the stiff competition here, and he's getting a Costa that's on a win streak, and he's looking really fucking good. Um, and I think I have Milk winning this one. I think Milk can either get the decision win or he's gonna get the submission win. His submissions are really high level. We saw him submit Andre Fili in Seattle, and he's just good. I think he's good all around. He obviously just has to respect Morgan Charrier's blitzes. He wants to put a lot of pace on you. And we saw him fight. Who was it? It was Nathan Fletcher or it was Nate Wood. It was one of the two.
yeah, Nate Wood.
Nate Wood. I always get it mixed up for some reason. But yeah, we saw that banger fight. Two guys that were just standing and banging. And I think he's gonna get a different kind of look here from Costa. I think Costa might try and take him down and just work him on the ground. Even odds. So I mean, it really is a pick 'em.
I got the last pirate, dude.
I'm gonna look here.
I got Morgan Charrier.
This is something that I think we're gonna do going into the new year as well. Is try and if they have photos available, I think we'll start looking at photos. There's Costa, Charrier, the face off. I mean, Charrier's looking big, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I rewatched some clips from his last fight with Nate Landwehr, and I mean, fuck, when he finished Nate Landwehr, dude, he smelt blood in the water and went just fucking straight for it.
Yeah.
I got Charrier. I think Charrier is going to be a little bit of a problem for Costa.
He could. Yeah, his striking's really good, dude. I think it does hurt Costa. I think it's just gonna be headhunting.
100%. Yeah, my pick here is going to be the last pirate.
Next fight, we get Cesar Almeida and Cesare Alexejczyk. This is Mikhail Alexejczyk's brother. We saw him debut. Well, this is his debut. We saw him fight on Contender Series. He's my pick here. Nothing against Almeida. Almeida is just kind of a meh fighter in my opinion. He's one of the older guys. He's a prospect, but he's about to be 38 years old. I don't know if I really would even call him a prospect at that age, but he is definitely one of the older guys with a less record. And we get Alexejczyk with over double his record, and just smoked Buddy on the Contender Series, and now he's here fighting in the UFC with his brother. I think there's gonna be a lot of motion here, and I think there's gonna be probably a finish. I think Alexejczyk's probably gonna knock out Almeida. I wouldn't bank on it though, but I would definitely take his money line. Minus 205 is a great parlay leg, and I like him a lot. I've definitely I like his brother Mikhail training with the Fighting Nerds. I don't know if Cesare is in the same camp. I would assume so. Because that's just kind of how you roll when you're brothers and you fight in the same organization, that you probably would stick together and kind of dog it out. So yeah, I think Cesare is gonna get this done. I think Cesare is gonna kill Buddy.
I got Cesar Almeida, dude. I got Almeida.
You're so full of shit.
I got Almeida.
Tell me why.
I really do.
Tell me why.
I don't know, dude. I think the dude who has
Fuck, it won't even load the record, bro. I'm trying to press on him so I can look at his shit.
He's 7-1. I don't know what he is in the UFC. I'm pretty sure he's like 4 and something. Oh, he's 3.
I'll let you roll, big dog. I'll let you talk. I'll let you go. Okay.
It's just like I see Olejniczak, bro. Like I see him thinking that he has Almeida rocked going in, and Almeida just dink. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of going off of Almeida's last. I'm going off of Almeida's last fight. Like, yeah, I am. But Olejniczak is kind of the same of fucking what's his name? Abdul Razak Alisson? No, the fucking last dude that fought Almeida. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Is like I see Olejniczak being the fucking striker that he is, 9 knockouts in his career, coming off that first round knockout in his Contender Series. I see him landing some shit. 100%. I think Olejniczak is gonna rock Almeida. Mm-hmm. What's gonna happen when Almeida throws something back at Olejniczak? I mean, you saw in Almeida's last fight, bro. He was getting pieced in. He was getting pieced the fuck in. Yeah. And all of a sudden, just me. Right hook from nowhere, bro.
I mean, Alexejczak is 12 years younger, and he's got a lot. He's got good hands, dude.
No, 100%. And I mean, like you got like McCall. I'm a huge fan of his brother. I'm gonna take a shot on the underdog here. I think he could get it done. If anything, I got this fight not going to decision. That's another thing. If I'm not too iffy on the fight, yeah. Honestly, if I think it could go either way, that's taking the under or taking not going to decision. Yeah. But I got Almeida in that fight.
Okay. All right. Moving on to our co-main. We get a couple of the featherweights. We get Giga Chikadze and Kevin Vallejos. Getting his shot at the ring spot, man. He's coming for Giga's spot. Giga, he's one of the guys that has kind of hung around the rankings for a hot minute, and he's not going up, and he hasn't really gone down yet. And I think Kevin Vallejos is going to knock him out of the rankings, and I think he's going to do it in style. I think he's definitely going to get the finish. I think he's going to get the knockout win here. He's got a bit of that upright, hands close to the chin, boxing style. Giga, we know he's got some crazy leg kicks. We know he's got what is that? Is it a wheel kick or question mark kick? He's got some crazy kind of kick that he does.
Yeah, he almost finished on Nama with it, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got some signature kick that is a Giga kick. But I think it's Vallejo's time, dude. He wants Gene Silva. Seems like he's in the UFC just to fucking hunt down Gene Silva. He talks about him every time he gets a chance to fucking get on Twitter. And I think a win here, he's in that conversation. Gene Silva's about to fight Arnold Allen. I think you're gonna eventually get to where you got to make that fight happen again. Because it was a pretty close contender series fight. Even though I did think Gene Silva won it, I think it was a pretty good and close fight. First
It was
time,
really close.
It's Kevin Vallejos' only loss, and it was a decision loss. And I think it was the only time that Gene Silva's been to a decision in his time in the UFC. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is a fight that I think matchmakers really are looking at, and they want to see Kevin Vallejos get there. And I think this is the right fight to make. Giga's 37 years old. Vallejos is only 24, and he's been dogging out some of these fights. His last fight was a pretty good fight. Not. I mean, it was a good fight. It wasn't really a good fight for Kevin. It was a pretty sweaty fight. If you bet on it and you watched it, that's what I'll say. It was a close fight.
That was a really close fucking fight. But I mean, Kevin still came out with the dub.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that real quick. Little side note.
Yeah,
That dude he fought, Danny Silva.
Yeah, he's got a chin, bro. Silva's got a fucking chin. So
I am excited to see more of that kid. That is 100%. I am excited to see more of that kid because that kid has confidence and he has hands and he got that fucking chin, bro. Vallejos was fucking landing some shots.
mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that people compare Kevin Vallejos to is they call him the Argentinian Ilia Topuria.
Yeah, that's true.
Because his boxing is really clean.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see, he was a champion in his organization that he was fighting at before the UFC called Samurai Fight House. He became the champ, defended his title fucking almost like, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He defended his belt 7 times.
Wow.
In this other organization.
I mean, he knows how to win.
He defended it 4 times and then came and lost to Silva in the contender series and then fucking came back and defended it a couple more times and then now this is where we're at.
Yeah.
I think it would be absolutely huge if Kevin knocked out Giga Chikadze here. And honestly sends Chikadze on his way to retirement. It sucks. But you know what? Honestly, no. I think we might see a couple more fights out of Giga before he retires, just to get just to get some extra cash.
Yeah, but his time in the rankings is probably done after this one for sure.
100%.
He's just gonna be that nice gatekeeper that's gonna have some he's gonna be fighting some of these up and comers, and that's just gonna be what it is for him.
Yeah, my pick is Kevin.
All right, next fight we got the main event. We get Brandon Royval, Raw Dog versus Manel Kape. Mr. Can't make weight. Mr. Can't make a fight. We'll call him Starboy. I won't, that's not his nickname. But anyway, my pick here is Royval because I love Royval, and it's just so crazy to see an underdog price on Royval after the fights that he's been through. He beat Tatsu Taira, who is probably next to fight for the title, who just beat Brandon Moreno, who was 16-0 at the time of their fight. And that was a 5-rounder. That was a 5-rounder that he took him to a decision and beat him in. We saw him fight Joshua Van, and it was neck and neck up until the last 10 seconds of the fight where he gets knocked on his ass by Van. And I'm supposed to believe that he is a plus 240 underdog to Manel Kape, who beat Aso Almabayev by eye poke, and Almabayev was complaining for the eye poke and didn't get it, and then gets pieced up on the side of the cage for it. Manel Kape that can't make weight, comes in heavy to some of his fights, and looks like he has gyno. He's got fucking man titties. because he's probably fucking doping outside of the UFC, you know, in his time off. You know, he's canceled more times than he's had fights in the UFC. I'm not a fan of this dude. I fucking hate Minnow Cop. I think he's lame as fuck for this division. I'm really going in, bro, because I just don't like that he's a favorite. And
He's canceled with Royval twice now.
yeah, and it's just a wild fucking fight, bro. Like it's just so crazy to see Royval be the underdog. And I think I know why he's the underdog. It's because Minnow Cop has like some of the best takedown defense. And that's kind of the way I see Royval winning. I don't know how he's gonna look on the feet because Cop is really good on the feet. That's kind of what he's known for when he was fighting in Aries and shit. Is he was just a fucking crazy knockout artist. Royval has hands. Royval has been dogging it out with some of these guys that have really good hands, like Van. Tyra, you could even say has good hands, has good wrestling, and Royval still came out on top in that fight. You know, it's gonna be a clash of styles. I think it's gonna be a fun fucking way to go out of 2025 with this fight here. Like I said, I think Royval is gonna be there, and if Royval wins this, you know, we might be getting that Van rematch, which I'm fucking excited for if that does happen, because that fight was a fucking banger. That was probably fight of the year. Yeah, Brandon Royval is my pick here.
Yeah, seeing that huge of an underdog price on Brandon Royval on the Raw Dog.
Mm-hmm.
The Raw Dog is the underdog.
Oh,
my pick is gonna be Brandon Royval.
Let's look at it.
I think Royval will be able to out pressure Cop.
Look at the titties on this man, bro.
I know that's one of the
bra.
biggest things. That's one of the biggest things people have been talking about lately. I think Royval has more time in this fight too. He has a lot more time, and I don't. It's hard because, you know, like you were talking about, Minnow Cop, he does have some pretty nice striking,
Mm-hmm.
and he's pretty fast. He is pretty fast. He's really creative with his striking as well, and I'm just curious to see how this goes. One of the biggest thing that I think needs to happen is Royval needs some more power in his punches, because that's another thing is, like, if you go and rewatch that Joshua Van fight and Royval was beating Van on punches. Royval had more output, he had more shots that were landed, but Joshua Van was just landing heavier shots.
Mm-hmm.
He was landing the cleaner, heavier shots, but Royval had more output.
Mm-hmm.
If Royval could just land like some clean combos and really put some power in them, I think Royval could fucking put anybody out, honestly, because Royval has some pretty nice striking, but it's just kind of like a flurry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you could really see it in the end of the fight against Van.
Yeah. And one thing I will talk about, because I've seen it on Twitter, it was a stat, and it's for some of you that have it on your betting market, maybe want to look at. Brandon Royval has only been outstruck twice in his UFC career, and there was a time when this fight was made that it was like plus 150 for Brandon Royval to get outstruck, or no, Brandon Royval most significant strikes plus 150. So they thought Minnow Cop was going to outstrike him. Now I'm pretty sure it's even odds. I think I saw an update on it where it kind of bought itself back down, but it's kind of crazy. Only 2 times in his career in the UFC, you know, he's 7-4, and he's only been outstruck in 2 of those, and it's pretty crazy to see that. You know, I don't think Minnow Cop's going to outstrike him. I think if Royval gets him down somehow, I think he's going to be busier on the ground. I think he's going to, you know, get the striking there. Significant, I don't know, but I think he will have the higher total strikes by the end of this fight. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know how this fight's gonna finish. I think for either guy, it's kind of knockout or decision. I think these guys are gonna come out swinging. I'm excited for it.
100%. At least I would hope so. I mean, fucking Manel's Cop against Muhammad Makayev. See how much fucking security was in the ring for a fucking snooze fest, dude?
Yeah, fucking A, dude.
Yeah. And then Manel Cop just comes out and completely starches Bruno Silva. I mean, brother, I don't know.
Where was that at?
I want Royval to win. I agree with you. I don't like Manel Kape. I think Manel Kape's kind of full of himself.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see a clip of him in the streets, him walking away from 3 fucking bodies on the floor, bro. It's just I don't know if it was actually him, but he was walking away. He was seeing this little dude walk away, this little black dude. It looked like Manel Kape, but the dude recording was recording these 3 big ass dudes just laying on the fucking street.
Taking a
And he was
nap.
like, this guy just came over here and knocked these dudes out. I will say that shit was pretty cool to see. I was like, holy shit, he just knocked out these fucking drunk dudes who thought that they could take him.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the quick picks. I think now we just roll over into the betting lines. We'll go over these real quick, and then we'll give you guys our picks at the end of the video. So, Jamie Lynn Horth was the underdog. Teresa Belletta, the favorite, even though she's coming on the layoff that we talked about. Fight going the distance, minus 260.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it's...
little parlay piece.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we might be starting off slow here. We might probably be seeing this fight going to decision. Someone's gonna have ring rust. You know, 2.5 years out. You know, you're going into the competition. You are the bigger fighter, and you do have finishes. But Lynn Horth is kind of a dog for the women's division here.
100%.
So I think this fight does go to decision. We're gonna kind of fly through these because I mean, nothing really too hot to debate on. Alan Fry, Jeremy Pat. I was on the side of Jeremy Pat. You're on the side of Alan Fry. Let's just look at the knockout props because I think that's probably what we'll play here. Pat by knockout, plus 110, almost even. Fry by knockout. It's not even on the same market. Okay, plus 200. Obviously, it's heavyweights. Obviously, it's how you would look at it. You were talking about the under 1.5. Plus 2 or minus 200. What was that? Felt weird. That's probably the safer bet. If you don't really want to pick a side in this, just take the under rounds for 2 guys that are undefeated, both with almost their whole record being knockouts. Next fight, Luana Santos, Melissa Croden. We're on the Croden underdog here. I'm probably just going to stay on the money line. But if I had to guess, it'd be Croden by decision because Luana Santos is ranked and she's a pretty decent fighter herself. Croden by decision is plus 240. That's not a bad leg there. Next fight, Sean Sharaf, Stephen Asplin. We're on the Asplin knockout here. It's at even money, minus 110. Under 1.5, minus 176. Those are 2 legs that I would look at. Neil Magny Abmasov. Okay, we will just kind of look at this real quick. Over, under 2.5. Fight not going to the decision. That's the one we're looking at, minus 150. Amasov by submission. Like I say, he's a submission guy. Let's see. Where's Amasov by sub?
You passed it.
Did I? I thought I was going to pass it. Amasov by submission, plus 195. Okay. Amasov by KO, 490. Neil Magny, round 3. I'm gonna look at the Magny round 3 price, plus 2,000. Crazy. Yeah. Next fight, Isaac Thompson, Joe Anderson Brito. It's a short notice fight. Over under set at 2.5. I think under 2.5 is definitely very live. It kind of cuts down on the Brito price a bit. Under 2.5, I like a lot. I was saying Brito by sub is plus 360. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just take his money line there. I'm not too interested in that fight. Lemos Robertson, over under 2.5. I think it's very live to go over. I think only way there's a finish is Robertson getting a submission. Otherwise, I see this one. What? Plus money on this fight going to decision? What?
Wow.
I'm taking that. What the fuck?
What prop is favorited?
It's got to be Robertson by sub, right?
Yeah, Robertson sub.
Where's it at?
Plus 220.
220. Even Robertson decision plus 280. I mean, that's still crazy. They think she's gonna come out here and just smoke Lemos, bro. I don't see that happening.
No.
I think it's gonna be a fucking crazy fight. That's gonna go all the way. And then we get Bob Green, Lance Gibson. I mean, I'm probably just gonna take the Gibson money line. This could be a sweaty fight. Lance Gibson plus 430 on the knockout. Lance Gibson plus 700 on the sub. Bobby Green by KO. There's nothing here for any of those. Over under 200 is at 2.5. There's nothing there. I'm just gonna I mean it'll just be Gibson money line. the Seattle guy. Next one's the heavyweights. And U-ZAH-BUS-PQ, over-unders at 1.5. I think this one could go over. And what did I say? I said U-ZAH submission. U-ZAH submission plus 240. And you said U-ZAH-BUS-PQ might knock him out, plus 155 on the knockout. Okay. Next fight, Costa and Morgan Charrier. Costa's kind of fallen to the underdog a bit, looks like. It was at even odds. It was a pick 'em. Looks like he's fallen down a bit. Now he's at underdog price. Over under at 2.5. I think this fight will go over. I think this will go to the scorecards, minus 180. So let's look at Costa decision plus 160, Charrier decision plus 260. Costa's on the win streak, so I think that's why he's favored here. I think Costa could also maybe find the sub. So Costa by sub plus 850. Okay. Scissor Almeida, Scissor Almeida. You were on the side of Almeida because you're crazy and a freak and bald.
You're an ass.
Get out. Over 1.5. I think this could be a quick fight. I think this could be a round one banger, dude. But I won't take it just because I don't want to have to sweat on a debut guy. But I will say U-ZAH-BUS-PQ by KO plus 130 is what I'm eyeballing. You think Almeida could win by KO, or you think he could win by decision? We'll look at both. KO plus 440, Almeida decision 490. We'll see. I'm just gonna use U-ZAH-BUS-PQ on my my main card parlay. Giga Chikadze, Kevin Vallejos. I think Kevin Vallejos is gonna win. The price is kind of growing on him. He was opening at 260, now he's growing to a 3-1. The over under at 2.5. Fuck. It's only a 3-rounder, which sucks. Because I think this one might go to the distance, but I think Vallejos is very live to start, buddy. And plus 200 on his knockout prop is looking nice. They think he's probably gonna win by decision. Okay. And the main event, Brandon Royval, Manel Kape. I mean, I think it's kind of written out for us here. We're gonna be taking Royval money line. He was plus 186, and he's grown into an even wider favorite, which is just absurd and wild. The over-under is at 3.5. I think this will go over 3.5. I think this might go all the way. So Royval decision plus 550. Kape decision plus 240. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's crazy to me. That's just a quick run through. Now we'll jump over into our bets. We'll talk about our bets. Z, do you want to go first? You want me to go first, good sir?
You go first.
All right. So, as always, I break my tickets up into where we are in the time of the fights. So prelims, main card, early prelims, etc. However it works out. So for this one, we got prelim ticket. So my prelim ticket is as follows. Let me pull it up here. It will be opening up tonight. We'll have Blade on money line, and then Gary Pat money line, and then we'll go Croden money line, and then Steven Asplin money line, and then fight not going to a decision, and the Magny Amosov fight, and then Drew Anderson Brito money line, and then over 2.5 in the Robertson Lemos fight, and then that's it for the prelim ticket. Now we'll go into the main card ticket. Main card ticket, Lance Gibson money line, U-ZAH-BUS-PQ submission, and then Mel Costa money line, Cesare U-ZAH-BUS-PQ money line, Kevin Vallejos money line, and then Brandon Royval money line. And then my cycle parlay is going to be by knockout, Kevin Vallejos. By submission, Marcus U-ZAH-BUS-PQ. By decision, I've been kind of flipping back and forth on it. I've been wanting to do the Mel Costa's decision, and I've also been wanting to do the Brandon Royval decision because I know both those are going to be insane. I'll take Brandon Royval decision. I think we'll just keep it all there. All right. And then That's probably all I'm gonna do. I haven't written anything else up yet. If there's any additions that we haven't talked about in the show, what we do is we put it in the Discord, let you guys see our tickets, and we'll do our reactions. So the link's gonna be in the description below if you want to join the channel and get any updates. And also we'll also be on the channel if you want to join in on the channel and do a live watch with us, live reactions, whatever. That is also going to be happening on the time of the fights. So be there or be square. And also, if you want to just see any additions or any changes to our bets, that's where you'll catch them. So that will be it for me. It's pretty small slate going into the new year, but it's also not a lot of spots that I want to touch as of right now. That's probably going to change going into tomorrow. I might find more things that I find intriguing and that I like. So stay tuned on that.
Yeah, I got a small bunch of tickets. Small bunch of tickets. Not
What
gonna go
that
too
even
crazy
mean?
on this. I'm not gonna go too crazy on this, but I got some parlays written up. um First one, this is the one that I like to do. Is like the first three of the night. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's the first three. I might be skipping over one. But yeah, I'm actually skipping over the first fight, which is Bleeda versus Jamie Lynn North. So I got Alan Fry KO, Melissa Croden money line, and Steven Asplin knockout. Um, Kind of the same thing with Joe. I do prelim first and then main card, and then kind of like a mixture of prelim and main card. So for the prelims, I also have the Bleeda and Jamie Lynn Horth fight going over rounds. I'm pretty sure it's 2.5. I might just pick going the distance because going the distance was around -260 compared to -300. So I might be taking that instead. Alan Fry and Pat under rounds, which is 1.5 rounds. Um, same with Steven Asplin and Sean Sheriff. I think that fight's gonna go under rounds as well, or I have that fight going under rounds. And then I actually did have Brito and Melsick going over rounds, but forgot that Melsick pulled out. I might just slap Joannis and Brito money line on that one. Um, prelim locks. It's gonna be a two-legger for you guys. Melissa Croden and Steven Asplin. I think that's a pretty solid two-legger. I'm gonna slap some money on. And then going into the main card, I got Lance Gibson, knockout or submission. Kennedy knockout. Shurier money line. Almeida versus Olejeszczyk. Fight not going the distance. And then Kevin Ralos, KO or points. Or decision. That's what I mean by points. Then I have a nice little KO parlay of Alan Fry, Melissa Croden, Steven Asplin, Lance Gibson, and Kennedy. And then this is another ticket I like to do, which is a parlay of fights I don't think are going to go the distance. And that's Alan Fry versus Pat, Steven Asplin versus Sean Sheriff, the Neil Magny fight versus Amosov, Brito versus Thompson, Gibson versus Green, Kennedy versus Buchecha, Almeida versus Olejeszczyk. I think all of those fights are not going to go to decision. And then for my cycle play, I have Steven Asplin knockout, Joe Anderson Brito submission, and then I'm taking the Lemos and Robertson fight going the distance, especially if that's at plus money. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Like Joe was talking about, we'll be in here. We'll be here in the Discord. It's not going to be a pay-per-view one, so we're not going to be going out and about, going to the casino and shit. We're going to be here in Discord. If you guys want to come and join, watch with us, we will be giving live updates. and any other live bets, ladder bets, or anything we come up with during the fights, we will be posting it in our Discord as well. So
Mhm.
if you guys want to keep up on that, you guys want to get some updates on how we're doing, how our picks are doing, how the fights are going, come and join us. Come and join us. We don't bite. But that's pretty much all I got for the last fight card of the year, the last ESPN fight card of the year.
Yeah,
This is
buddy.
it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
I I've been complaining about ESPN for the last year and how much bullshit it is.
Not being able to see
I remember,
walkouts is definitely one of the bigger gripes we've had.
yeah, and that's recent too. That's been recent,
Yeah.
in little under half a year they
I,
started doing that.
yeah, I will say the pay per view was kind of funny because this last pay per view they showed almost all the walkouts, and it was something that on the other pay per views they didn't really do. And I was like,
They stopped.
yeah,
They showed the early ones and then they stopped.
yeah. I was like, I think
And
they're
then
just
they
trying to go out with a bang because they just lost this fucking contract. But yeah. Um, so another thing we wanted to do before we signed off was talk about any of the updates that we were gonna do for content over these next 6 weeks. And like I said, we did a little bit of brainstorming. We did talk about some things we wanted to add, and a couple of things that I think were going to be good ideas. Was going to be what did we say? We said we wanted to maybe add another
kind of rank.
video.
Yeah, maybe add another video into the week.
Hmm.
But then, some of the ideas that we had was like kind of going over the events over the years, even pay-per-views and even fight cards. Because I mean,
Yeah,
there's been a couple fight cards I can't name off the top of my head, but I'm just like, holy
Seattle,
shit. Yeah,
Paris.
Seattle, for example, Paris. But that's another thing though, is like those had to be big. I mean, they were
Yeah,
besides UFC Mexico was kind of dog shit. But anyways, um,
Perth, UFC Perth's always good. Australia cards
yeah,
are always
UFC
fucking
Perth is
bangers.
always delivering.
Yeah,
I mean, that's some of the things we'll go over, and then some of the things that we expect for next year. Because I mean, UFC likes to go back to spots that they know they get a lot of pop from, and like Seattle obviously came back
they
to
said it
Seattle
was
this year.
amazing. They loved it.
Yeah, Dana White was fucking appalled by how crazy it was.
Hmm.
And look, they're already coming back. They're already coming back next year in
Quick
March.
too. Yeah.
So yeah, I was not expecting a year turnaround.
Hmm.
I thought they were gonna do one in Portland.
Yeah, yeah.
Dana
Rumor had
White
it was
said
Portland was gonna be one their next stop when they're
he
gonna
said,
get
"Fuck
there.
that, we're going back to Seattle."
Yeah, I'm happy they
He
did
said
because
that
we live
that's close
close.
enough. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
close enough. So
yeah, hella.
but yeah, that's some of the shit that we'll be talking about, over the break, over going over the events. I think one thing that we should do as well is kind of go over some of the fighters who like really made an impact this year for themselves. Some of the fighters who really stood out.
Yeah,
Um, just, I don't know, just shit like that. We could play matchmaker,
yeah.
talk about next year, some of the fights that we want to see for
Oh,
next year.
yeah, that was. We're also gonna go over our futures. I think another thing we're gonna do for the channel
Oh
is
yeah.
place futures, maybe some single bets on each division. Talk about who we think is gonna be title at the end of the year or hold the title at the end of the year, end of 2026. Who are dark horses for the division? Who we think is gonna make the biggest impact on the division? And like who's gonna make one of the bigger runs? That's could be our prospect to watch for the year. We could also, make that our own thing, the dark horse and a prospect to watch. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of things we can talk about for sure. Another thing for the New Year's, we'll probably start doing bet tracking. We didn't
Oh
do
yeah.
we didn't
Oh
really
yeah.
touch on it too much this year just because we were getting off the ground and we started pretty late in the year anyway. Uh, but yeah, we'll get a little bit. I know I tried it early on when we would do these recaps, do our win losses, but that was just for picks for the show. I think what we'll actually do so you guys can see our betting records is make that a thing in here so that way you guys can see if we're profitable or not.
Maybe that right there should be our other video that we do throughout the week. We kind of break down, the shit that we had talked about, what we made money on, some of our live betting.
Yeah.
The crazy thing I see a lot of bookies do is they have like a fucking, I forget what it's called, but they have like they have like an Excel sheet,
Mm.
and they have all the events throughout the year. total profit, the amount of money they put in,
You want to
the
make an
amount of
Excel
money
sheet
they
then?
came out with, some shit like that. Most
Better, yeah.
definitely want to stay on top next year. You want to stay on top of my sports betting.
Yeah.
You know, I really want to track it and
Yeah.
not just fucking go willy nilly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we like to gamble, but it's all about being smart and
Yeah.
being smart with your money. And I think one of the things that would really help anybody
It's tracking.
is tracking and being on top of it. So
Yeah. And another thing we probably should do, which I always say that I'll do, and I get fucking I'll start it and then I stop it, is straight betting, bro.
yeah,
I'm horse shit at straight betting. I'll be one leg away on a parlay, but I will never straight bet. I'm always a parlay better, and because I always chase odds. But I realize that, like, with how often I'm right with my picks, I'd probably be way more profitable than not the way I bet. Cutting down some of these odds, whether I'm taking over under rounds or
yeah.
even chasing two mans. But if we're gonna start tracking next year, that's one thing I'm gonna do for sure for the show is make sure I'm hitting the spots where I gotta hit them and not losing parlays by one leg and having a rash shit record.
100%. I mean, like, fuck, dude. You know, even taking like, cause there's a lot of dudes. You know, like for example, like I'm one of them. You know, you take $200 and then you make fucking like 15 parlays from
You'll
that.
machine gun them, dude.
When you could have taken $100 or even 50, made a shit ton of small parlays with that, and then straight bet with the rest, and then all of a sudden you got fucking three times
You got all your money
what you
back
just
plus
bought in
some.
with. And yeah, and you're still riding on those parlays that you made. Yeah, that's most definitely one thing I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
Last week I did do a couple of straight bets. I did them live though. I did them live. That's one
You
thing
had
is
that
that
Piotr
I
Jan
don't
live.
yeah, I don't make them live. Like when I'm making tickets, I'm making parlays. You know, I'm making parlays and round robins. But during the fight cards and watching them and shit, I do snipe a couple of straight bets.
Hmm.
Yeah, one of them was Joshua Van by knockout or decision. That was one of the ones, but that was kind of a prop. But I did snipe fucking Peter Yan just money line. I think after the second round, he was still plus money, so
Yeah.
pick that up.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. That's most definitely some of the shit that we're gonna be doing coming into the next year,
Yeah.
and being on this 2 month break until the next UFC event, which holy shit, that event is going to be insane.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll be talking about that a week before the event, of course. Uh, but it is interesting to see that it looks like the cards are going to be smaller. It looks like they're gonna try.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna do what we talked about off the camera. That they're gonna kind of be similar to the boxing promotions, where they're gonna be shorter fighters and more star power fighters. Like they're gonna be more loaded for sure. Uh, yeah, I mean that's all I got for this week's card. I mean this week's card is gonna be what it is. We'll rank it when we do our big rankings at the end of the year whenever we make that video. So yeah, that's it for me. So like we said, stay tuned, hop in the Discord if you want to watch with us and whatever. Yeah, we'll be in there for sure, guys. So if you want to win some
yeah,
money with us and sweat some picks, we'll be there.
yeah. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in 2026.
Oh
Peace.
yeah, stay cozy.